United passenger dragged from plane has concussion, broken nose, lawyer. The United Airlines passenger dragged from a plane in Chicago in an incident that sparked international outrage and turned into a corporate public relations nightmare suffered a concussion and broken nose and will likely sue, his attorney said on Thursday. For a long time airlines, United in particular, have bullied us, Thomas Demetrio told a news conference in Chicago, outlining the potential causes of action they may pursue against United and the city of Chicago. Will there be a lawsuit? Yeah, probably. David Dow, a 69-year-old Vietnamese-American doctor, was hospitalized after Chicago aviation police dragged him from the plane to make space for 4 crew members on the flight from the city's O'Hare International Airport to Louisville, Kentucky. Demetrio said the law stated that passengers could not be ejected from planes with unreasonable force. Chicago runs the airport and the city's Department of Aviation employs the 3 officers who dragged Dow off the plane. Dow, who was discharged from the hospital on Wednesday night, suffered a significant concussion, a broken nose and lost 2 front teeth in the incident, and he will need to undergo reconstructive surgery, Demetrio said. Video of Sunday's incident taken by other passengers and showing Dow being dragged up the plane aisle and with a bloodied mouth circulated rapidly, causing public outrage that was not calmed by the airline's initial response. Dow's daughter, Crystal Dow Pepper, told the news conference that the family was horrified, shocked and sickened by what happened to her father. One of Dow's 5 children, Pepper, 33, called him a wonderful father and loving grandfather who had been returning from vacation in California. "What happened to my dad should have never happened to any human being," she said. Demetrio said Dow had told him that being dragged down the plane aisle was more terrifying than his experience fleeing Vietnam in 1975. Demetrio and a second attorney, Stephen Golan, said neither they nor the family had heard from United yet. United, in a statement, said Munoz and the company called Dr. Dow on numerous occasions to express our heartfelt and deepest apologies. The company did not say how it would respond to any litigation, or whether the airline would try to settle. Dow's lawyers filed an emergency request with an Illinois state court on Wednesday to require United Continental Holdings Incorporated and the city of Chicago to preserve video recordings and other evidence related to the incident, which would be a precursor to a lawsuit. Other attorneys said state courts are typically more favorable to plaintiffs. Officials from the city could not be reached for comment on Thursday's news conference. At a later City Council Aviation Committee meeting, Chicago Department of Aviation Commissioner Ginger Evans said the department was investigating the incident and reviewing its training. Chicago Alderman Michael Zalewski, head of the committee, called the incident a nightmare that should have been avoidable. United officials at the meeting apologized again and said they were reviewing all related company policies and would complete that process by April 30. United Vice President John Slater said he was not at liberty to say who called the aviation police, but ruled out the plane's captain. United has no set policy for physically forcing passengers to deboard, he added. Chicago employees should not be doing the dirty work for the Friendly Skies airline, Chicago Alderman Edward Burke said at the meeting, adding Dow's civil rights had been violated. Evans and United officials said they could not discuss the incident in detail, citing the pending litigation. United Chief Executive Oscar Munoz is under pressure to contain a torrent of bad publicity and calls to boycott United, including from China, where people have been angered because Dow was an Asian American passenger. United shares have lost about 1% of their value since Monday. The stock closed down 1.2% on Thursday. Munoz has sought in the last 2 days to make amends. In a statement on Tuesday he said he deeply apologized and was disturbed by what had happened. On Wednesday, he apologized to Dow, his family and United customers in an ABC News interview, saying the company would no longer use law enforcement officers to remove passengers from overbooked flights. Demetrio called the apology staged and a response to the airline executive's earlier comments, which were heavily criticized by many. In a letter to employees on Monday, Munoz did not apologize to Dow and defended the airline's actions, saying Dow had been disruptive and belligerent. Dow was offered $800 for his seat by United but did not want to take it, Demetrio said. Munoz previously said the airline offered up to $1,000. Dow's wife was told to leave the plane after he was dragged off, Golan said. Airport police. The city of Chicago, which Demetrio said had also not contacted the attorneys and family, is also potentially involved in any lawsuit because of the officers' involvement. Chicago's aviation department said on Wednesday that 2 more officers had been placed on paid leave in connection with the incident. 1 officer was placed on paid leave on Tuesday. Given the wide public outrage, Dow is in a strong position as he prepares to launch a legal action, lawyers who represent airlines and passengers said. United, if they're smart, will quickly and quietly settle the case, said Justin Green, a partner at the law firm Crindler & Crindler in New York who represents airline passengers.